We are live. Good morning from
Woo!
Arizona, and then good morning from
San Francisco.
California too, and also to good evening to good afternoon to some part of the world. I'm Carol. Today I have my special guest, Florence. She's a ICU nurse from California. So without any further ado, Florence, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. It's an honor to be here and being interviewed. So, my name is Florence. I'm an ICU nurse here in San Francisco at UCSF. And I've been a nurse for over 15 years, and then 10 of those years are in cardiac ICU. I was born and raised in the Philippines, but both my parents are Chinese, so I actually speak fluent Tagalog and a little bit of Mandarin.
Oh,
So, a lot of people, when I first moved here, they thought that they were speaking Tagalog, and then I kind of like joined in, and they were
right.
like, "Oh my gosh, you speak Tagalog," and I'm like, "Yeah," and then so I'm like, "Good thing you guys didn't talk shit about me." Yeah, so I've been an online business owner for 11 months, but I've also dabbled in a lot of online businesses in the past. Like, I was a life coach. I wrote a book. Yeah, I
Wow.
did. I did a lot of things, and so I'm grateful to be here.
Okay. And beside all the things that she has done, and congratulations to Florence, she just got engaged.
Hey, thank you.
So, like you said, 11 months in this business, and so when I see that you're doing really well, and congratulations on that too. And
Thank
then,
you.
being ICU nurse, and I know that the pay is per decent, but what make you decide to do this business, even though you have a good paying job?
Yeah, so like there are a lot of nurses. So I've been when I graduated as a nurse, I thought I would retire as a nurse like until 65.
Right,
But reality kicked in. As I get older, everything starts to hurt. I
right.
work in a very, very busy cardiac ICU unit in
Wow.
San Francisco. And I think the worst part was after the pandemic. After
Right,
the pandemic, a lot of nurses have just feel like really burnt out. Like a lot of nurses are trying to get out of nursing, right?
right, right,
But even before then, I was like, okay, what can I do? So I even got my nurse practitioner license. I passed the boards, but I realized that to get ahead in life, nursing is not the place to be. Because,
right,
it's the same thing, right? Like, even as a nurse or an NP or even whatever, like, I still have to clock in and clock out. I
right,
still have to work for a company. Um, and nowadays, we're so short staffed, we're
right,
so overworked, and
right,
it's really stressful.
right.
So I remember I was working into like I was starting my functional health coaching business. I think I was doing it for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Um, and then I couldn't really get traction because, for some reason, like not a lot of people want to invest in their health
Right,
because they believe that there's healthcare and all those things. So everything needs to be paid for, right? Like with
right,
insurance and all those things. So then I remember very, very vividly. Um, it was 5 o'clock, and I was cleaning my patient for the fifth time because he's had a bowel movement, and the patient was so heavy, 300 pounds, right?
right, right,
And so there were four of us, cleaning and like
right,
doing the turns and all those things. And my back was hurting.
right,
It was such a busy day, and I didn't even have time to drink water because
right.
I was like so busy. I didn't even have time to go to the bathroom to pee. And I
Wow.
said, "Oh my gosh!" Like, so this was last year. I was 41 then, and I was like, "Gosh, like I'm 41. I don't know how people older than I am can do this. I'm
Right,
hurting already, like
right,
mentally, physically, emotionally."
right,
And they said, I gotta do something different.
right,
So when I remember like very clearly that day, I said, okay, like I gotta work hard on my functional coaching business. I gotta get that moving because, as you know, like being
mhm,
in the Bay Area, being a nurse, we make great money, but at the same time, it's a golden handcuff, right?
right,
Because
right,
it's so like people I know at work, they're not happy at work, but
right.
oh, I gotta stay because of the pension. Like,
Exactly.
what am I gonna do? Like, I don't want to go back to school and like
Right.
so I don't want to be like that. I told myself, you know what, I have a lot more years in front of me, God
Mhm.
willing. Um, that I want to make sure that I'm living my life the way I want it to be.
Right.
So I started looking, I started asking, I prayed a lot. I said, okay, universe, God, like, whatever it is, if you really think that functional health coaching is for me, please, like, let me get
Right.
clients, all those things. And
Right.
then I think 3 days later, I've been I've been already starting see I started PB I see PB start posting a lot on her Facebook, like all of
Right.
a sudden, because in the past, like, she was before she started the business, she wasn't posting on her Facebook.
Right.
And then, like, 3 days later, as I was looking at her stuff, I'm like, okay, whatever, good job, good for you, right? But I never reached out to her. But then
Right.
she reached out to me. So
Right.
PB reached out to me. We went to nursing school together.
Ah.
So we've known each other for like 18 years. We went
Ah.
to Yeah. So she's been my long time friend. I don't
Friends.
know. We lost contact.
Mhm.
But like we went to nursing school, we went to community college together, and we went to San Jose State together for our
Oh.
nursing degree. And then we also did a lot of businesses together in the past that didn't work out.
Right.
um, so then when she reached out to me, she said, hey, I started an online business. And I said, okay. And she said, do you want to check it out? I said, no, not really.
Right.
I'm busy, right? Like, I had my functional health coaching. But then I remembered that day when I was cleaning my kitchen, and I said, okay, I asked for this.
Right.
Ask God
Yeah.
to
You
give
said
me
yes.
something different. And so I told PB, okay, fine. So she said, here, give me your email address. And I gave her my email address, and she said, when are you going to watch it? I said, on my next day off. So I remember I'm working like six in a row that time. So I said, on
Right.
my next day off. So
Right.
she said, okay. So then, like, when during after my day off, or during my day off, I said, ah, gosh, like, I told PB I'm gonna watch it, but I really didn't want to watch it because I was so busy.
Right.
The 90 minutes is a long time, right? So I said,
Right.
oh gosh, like, I don't want to watch this video.
Right.
I told myself, you know what, Florence, you paid so much money on personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say something, you gotta do it.
Right.
So I told myself, okay, I told PB I was gonna watch it, so I gotta watch it. So
Right.
I remember watching it 3 times. I fell asleep. I watched it
Right.
3 times. And then after I watched it, she added me into like our community of
Right.
business owners, and I saw like how much people make. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, holy shit, like, this is my ticket out, because I need that or more to like be
Right.
able to transition out of nursing. And then after
Right.
that, I watched the coaching video, the coaching call. I did the pre-coaching videos, and then like I joined, like, and I never looked back.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, so the rest is history. Now I've been here for 11 months.
Right. See, that's the one of the reasons like nowadays people realize that, I mean, working 9 to 5, I mean, yours not 9 to 5, but you know what, work for somebody else. How long you gonna do that? Because that's is one of the reason, our business is booming too, because people realize that, I mean, money is really good. Like you have a good paying job. I had a good paying job, but you know what, your health is more important. That's more important, like me, more time with the kids, more time with the family. So yeah, that's one of the main reason that we do this visit. And I want to point to everyone who's watching too, that Florence, she's so busy, she has all this, the life coach and everything, but yet she still find time to do this business. So it is doable, because a lot of people were saying that when you work full time, you don't have time to work this business, but because of the automations from this business, you could it's allow you to do this business first part time. So along the way, but been in this business for 11 months, what are the, like, you can see at least one or two that the most, like, the hardest, the hardest hurdle that you had to go through to be where you are right now. Eh,
Yeah, I think for me, I'm very hard on myself. I'm very type A, so
right.
like, being in the ICU. So I always tell myself that if I want to get there, I want to get there fast.
Right.
So I remember I was very impatient because like this is all there. Although this business is like we have a step by step training,
Right.
90% automated,
Right.
there's still a learning curve, right? So
Right.
regardless of how good you are, right, like as a marketer, as advertising, you need to learn the business, like
Yeah.
how it works, what it is about. um, and to me, my hardest one is my mindset. Like
Right.
um they say our mindset is 90%, like
Percent. Yes.
90%. If you want to be successful in this business, it's really 90%
Right.
mindset and 10% skills. The 10% we can teach you, but
Right.
the 90%, you know
It's all
um
you.
it's up to you, right? Like there's only so much we can do.
Right.
So for me, I remember when I wasn't getting the results, I was getting very demotivated and very
Right.
like discouraged, and
Right.
there was a time when I wanted to quit,
Right.
because I was like, oh, I'm doing all these things, I'm doing the best I can, how come
Yeah.
I'm not getting the results?
Right.
And then I think the for me the main thing that I told myself is, you know what, everyone has their own journey.
Right.
Like some people are really fast,
Right.
right?
Right.
And some people are a little bit slower.
Right.
But like also don't compare myself to other people.
Right.
And that's the one thing that I had to tell myself over and over and over and over again, and say that, and I have to trust, and I have to be patient. So impatience, being patient is not my strong suit. Like
Right.
I said, if I want to put my mind to it, I want to get it done now. Like, so
Right.
if I want to retire from nursing, I want to retire now. But it doesn't
Right.
make sense, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
even in nursing school, it took me 3 years, right, or a year and a half to get my nursing degree. But it took me 2 years for undergraduate, and then another 1.5 years to go to NP school. And only now, being 15 years in as a nurse, do I am I feeling comfortable. So it took 15 years to get there.
Right.
So I had to tell myself that, don't compare myself to
Right.
others,
Right.
and also to enjoy the journey,
Right.
and to be patient. So those I think was the hardest for me.
Right.
um and then I think another one too, honestly, is like the confidence.
Right.
When I first started, going live like this,
Right.
no way,
Right.
no way. Like
Right.
I remember going live four in a row, and then that's it. I stopped.
Right.
Not with the business, like just my functional health coaching business, and I think it's more of like the self belief. I didn't think that I can do it. I didn't think that I have like a message to say. I
Right.
wasn't confident in myself, and I was afraid to be judged. I was
Right.
afraid to speak my truth. I was afraid to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
because growing up, like I'm not. I'm just a follower. I'm never a leader, right? I was never a leader.
Right.
So I had to get through all those things.
Right.
um Now I don't care anymore, like, and I think this, like, I'm saying it very humbly, but I don't care anymore what people think about me.
Right.
Because before, I'm here to, like, I want to impress people. I want to say, oh, like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, I don't want to
Right.
speak my truth, all
Right.
those things. So now I can, and I keep telling my my business partners this, what, don't worry about other people. Like,
Right.
as much as you can be as perfect as you can be, but you can never please everybody, right?
Exactly.
So I told myself, what, I'm just gonna show up there, and, like, if people like my message, and if people can resonate with me,
Right.
I'm grateful. But if not, that's okay too, because we're not everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
So those are the two things. But it's all always really
Right.
just mindset.
I totally agree with, the mindset is the key. And I have to say again, like our business is not something like the get rich quick scheme. So, but then average actually, if you started any businesses, it would takes about like average at 3 to 5 years for you to really see the result. But you being in this business for less than a year, you already having great result. That is a great achievement. That shows that how our business work. Because like you said, some other people whose result is faster than others, and even then, in average, within a year or two, you already can see the result from this business. Yeah. Yeah. So what are, like, I know this is a lot, but you can pick how many you want to say. What are the great things that you really like about this business, you know?
Yeah. So the first one, as like as healthcare providers, we make great money, but we
Right.
get taxed a lot.
Right.
So my number one favorite, I think my first win when I became a business owner and entrepreneur is the write-offs.
Right.
So last year, I started in October of 2023, so
Ah,
almost 1 year.
almost 1 year.
And I wasn't making money yet, right? Like,
Right.
the 2 months.
Right.
But because of being an online, because of having a business, I was
Right.
able to get middle five, maybe like a little bit. So I can say it because it's my, like, I was able to get like $30,000 in tax refund from
Wow.
federal and state
Right.
for 2023 because of the write-offs.
Right.
Because all the things that we're doing, right, like our
Right.
mortgage, our um, phone bill, our everything really that we're using for online business,
Right. Yeah. Even
it's
your
all write-off.
laptop and everything, your phone
Cell
service. Yeah.
phone. You have, there's a new iPhone 16 now.
Right.
So if you start your business, you can write that off, right? Because truly we can use it. Like we use
That's
it.
true.
It's so mobile that we use it for our business.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Number two is really the personal growth. Um,
Yes.
I if you tell me, like, let's say you come to me like last year and say, oh my gosh, in 1 year you're going to be so confident, you're going to be so, you don't even care about going lives anymore, I would not believe you.
Right.
But the growth of, like, the personal growth that I
Right.
have experienced through this
Right.
business, it's like so life changing that I can bring it with me anywhere I go.
Right.
It's not just business, right? Like, it's really how I show up, like with
Right.
family, how I show up with friends. um and I can never, no one can ever take this from me, right?
Right.
Like, money, great, right? We all started the business because we want that freedom, but like
Mm-hmm.
this personal growth has been like one of my most prized possession, and I'm so grateful, because it's so, like, I would go to, I think for the last 7 years I spent, or not spent, invested about over 200 $300,000 on personal growth.
Right.
I would go to like retreats, I would attend seminars because I
Right.
want to be the best version of myself.
Right.
But like, you don't have to spend $350,000 to get the personal growth in this business. It's very
Right.
little compared
Right.
to that.
Right.
So it blew my mind that I'm growing a lot right now, because of that.
Right.
And then number three is, yeah. So I almost made like five figure income every month. So I'm
Right.
grateful for that as well,
Right.
because then the it has given me hope, and
Right.
that I can transition out of my nursing career, and
Right.
that I don't feel stuck anymore. And then
Right.
the last one is, I never would have thought I would be a leader. Uh,
Right.
I never would have thought that I can lead, the people that
Right.
I'm helping.
Right.
And it just makes me happy to know that I've become that person, and that it's effective, and that I'm actually helping them, become the best version of themselves.
Right.
Because uh it's that one is um what is the word, like, you can't pay that, or you can't
Yeah,
put
you can
money.
buy that. Yes. Yes.
It's Oh, and another one is the automation. So the
Right.
automation. So there's so many, but yeah, this is the last one. The automation.
Yeah.
Because I still work full time.
Right.
Still work 3 12-hour shifts. I remember I was in an ECMO room one of the days, like last week, taking care of a patient, and I was checking my email. I'm like, oh, I got an action taker, right? So,
Right.
like, this business, if you're so busy, you can create time. You can create more time doing what you love when you have this business, because of the automation piece, because we
Right.
have a lot of like back office that will do all the work for us, that
Right.
eventually you're gonna have more time. so
Right.
so those are the things. I
So
Yeah, there's so many.
yeah. So, a lot of people think also that the online business is mostly a scam. So you just, Florence just mentioned that how she can write off this business from the income that she makes from this business. So we receive, like in the US we receive the 1090, and then in Canada T4, and all other countries out. So we do receive the tax slip every year. So, and yeah, I totally agree about the business write off. And I can, I can vouch for that too. Like me, I realized that too when I started this business. Like I'm kind of like, it's always timid, have this like, oh, I'm not that good, you always have this insecurity about you. But then this business also helped me grow, not just, just not in the business but myself, grow like you. If when I started, if I know that, if somebody would tell me, oh, Carol, you're gonna interview people, you're gonna do this, I'm like, yeah, right, that's not gonna happen, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, so we learn a lot so much. And then one thing I love about this community too, just like you and I, we never met, we just met online. I mean, even then we haven't talked, but then when I reach out to you and then ask you to be on my page to interview you, like without any doubt, you're like, sure. So that's how I love about this community. We help each other to reach our goal together. So that's another thing that I love. And then we also, you mentioned about the like you have a, mentorship and stuff. That's the thing
Mhm.
about this business. Like once you're in this business, you're not alone. You have a mentor, you have a coach, and you have the community, and you can just, if you need help, you just reach out, and
Yes.
people will help you. Because yeah, because our communities, I love it about that. And like you and I mean, we don't know each other, but we can always help each other. And of course, when you started, like you probably, I was skeptical about this business. I mean, I assume you probably somewhat in that too. And then to anybody who always, like, like you and I before, we were like, oh, I don't know that whether I can retire, I can wait till 65 to retire. And I guess along the way, when you have family and everything, your focus kind of change.
Yes.
So that's why, like there's a lot of people out there who's like want to do something, who wants to retire early, who wants to have more time with their family, who wants to have extra income. And but they are skeptical. So what would your advice would be for them?
Yeah, honestly, like being skeptical is normal,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of scams out there. I have been scammed like twice. And to the point where I had to, like, part of my retirement, because I invested it, and part
Right.
of my retirement is
One.
lost, right? Like I lost it. So being skeptical, I think, is a great thing, because you're just protecting yourself, right? Because either if you've been scammed before, but I think being skeptical shouldn't be the end to it.
Right.
Like, we all have, there are a lot of scams out there, but there's also a lot of like legit opportunities out there.
Right.
So if for whatever reason you say, hey, you know what, I'm not happy with my life, I'm not happy with um with how I don't have enough time, I'm still broke, I'm still paycheck to paycheck, and all these things, right?
Right.
um the one thing that will stop you from getting to like the other side, if you don't take action, right? So
Right.
if you're skeptical, good. But the thing is, I encourage you to like do your research,
Right.
do your due diligence, really like look up like what like, instead of just saying, oh, no, 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 it's not gonna work for me. Why
Right.
don't you like do the necessary steps to do your own diligence?
Right.
And if you have all the pieces, like if you have all the information that you
Right.
need, the pieces to the puzzle, and you still say, it's not for me, then that's okay.
Right.
At least you did everything that you can to learn
Right.
about the business.
Right.
Because if not, like, then what are you gonna do, right? Like 10 years, time goes by so fast. In 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you don't want to kick yourself and say, oh gosh, like I should have.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, one of the reasons why I'm so grateful I went to NP school. So a lot of people said, oh, like you wasted your money, you wasted 2 years of your time. for going to NP school and you're not using it? And I said no, because when I went through it, I realized that NP is not for me. Being a nurse
Right.
practitioner is not for me. So
Right.
now I don't have any regrets. I know 100% sure that it's not what I want to do.
Right.
So then I don't have to, like, say what if
What
all
if?
these things,
Yes.
right? So if you're skeptical, it's okay. You're just protecting yourself, and at the same time, like, just do your research,
Right.
because you never know until you try.
So true. That's so true. That's one of the reason too in our business. Every Tuesday and Thursday we have this free info session for
Mhm.
anybody who wants to find out more about this business. So, like Florence said, take action. Take action. You just watch this our free info session. From there, you can always decide from yourself for yourself. And if it's something for you, go ahead and reach out for more info. If not, it's okay. Just thank you for checking out, because that's it's very important to know where what you getting yourself into. So
Yes.
that's what we provide all this information, so you don't go blindly join it and later on regrets, this doesn't this and that, so yeah.
And then
So
I think I want to add too, like, we will not show our faces. We are all professionals here, right? Like, we are
right.
all successful professionals. You used to work in healthcare. I'm a nurse. I work at UCSF. I tell you where I work.
Right.
So if we are scammers, we would never do that. Like,
Exactly.
if we're scammers, we will not have our pictures, our life, where we're at, plastered all over our social media,
Exactly.
because, like, that's what scammers do, right? Scammers, like, they don't have a
Hi.
photo, like, they have new, like, Facebook account, but, like, we won't do that, because our reputation means a lot to us. Like, for me, I don't want to be called a scammer at work.
Right.
So if this is a scam, like, I would not do this. I would not
Right.
go live. I would not mention this to my friends, my
Right.
family, because my reputation means a lot to me. So I
Right.
just want to.
Yeah, that is so true. Just like, like on my business page and I post everything about my family, picture of my son, my husband, my parents, my sisters,
Yes.
like you said, if we are a scammer, we won't show all those things. And then so because we are normal people who wants to have a better life for ourselves, and by we also want to help others so that they also know that there is options for them,
Yes.
without not just working for the corporate world or working for somebody else. There is an options for them. They can work for themselves and also earn a good income. So yeah. So thank you so much,
Thank
Florence. I
you.
enjoyed this session with you. Thank you for your info. I hope that everyone who are watching is who's always have this in their mind that they want to do something for themselves. So I highly encourage them to check it out our business. You can reach out to Florence. You can reach out to me. We'll be happy to answer you all the questions that you need, and so that you know what you get yourself into. And thank you, Florence,
Thank
for
you
being
so
my
much.
guest today. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge, and to everyone who's watching, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everyone.
Bye. Happy Friday.
Bye.